After 5 long years of waiting, speculation, and endless teasers, it's finally here. Welcome to This Explainer, where we're diving deep into the definitive review data for Forza Horizon 6. We've compiled all the top reviews, articles, and the overall critical consensus to give you the absolute most comprehensive breakdown possible of what is, without a doubt, one of the most anticipated releases of the decade. We're kicking things off with a massive 92 aggregate review score on both OpenCritic and Metacritic. I mean, that instantly makes this the highest-rated release of 2026 so far. To put that into perspective, heavy hitters like IGN, Eurogamer, and Polygon have all confidently awarded it top marks. It's just continuing this absolutely remarkable streak for the developers at Playground Games, standing right shoulder to shoulder with the universally acclaimed scores of Horizon 3, 4, and 5. Cobb outlets are literally handing out perfect 5-star ratings across the board. Reviewers are raving about the deep driving mechanics, the respectful cultural integration, and the genuinely stunning world design. As reviewers like Alison Cochran and Jeff Grubb noted, it's basically a near-perfect package. But they point out that its real achievement is teaching you to actually notice and appreciate the breathtaking Japanese landscapes you're passing through, even when you're flying by at 200 miles per hour. So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We're going to cover the record-breaking launch, take a tour of Horizon Japan, look at the progression and new modes, figure out how to build the ultimate garage, check out performance and accessibility, and finally, wrap up with the final verdict. All right, let's jump right into Section 1, a record-breaking launch. And yeah, the hype is absolutely real. Playground Games absolutely did not hold back for this release. They're giving us a massive Day 1 garage featuring over 550 cars, and it's built heavily around Japanese domestic market, or JDM culture. This is a huge deal for the fan base. People have been begging for a deeper focus on the legendary tuning and drift culture that Japan is universally known for. To give you an idea of the sheer depth here, Honda alone fields over 22 confirmed models, and Nissan has an unbelievable 20 models spanning 5 distinct decades of Skyline GTR history. It is, for sure, the best JDM representation the series has ever delivered. Moving on to Section 2, welcome to Horizon Japan, and how they're setting the vibe. There's a major tonal shift happening here, and honestly, it directly fixes the loudest complaint from the last game. Remember in Horizon 5 how you were instantly worshipped as this driving superstar? The dialogue was just packed with forced, kind of cringy insertions of Spanglish that left a lot of players rolling their eyes. Reviewers universally noted how unbearable that got. Well, here in Horizon 6, you aren't a god among drivers. Instead, you have grounded, authentic local friends showing you the ropes. There are no random Japanese words shoehorned into every sentence just to sound culturally authentic. It's a much more mature, relaxed tone that finally lets the driving do the talking. Now, the map itself is packed with these incredible cultural touches that make it feel so alive. Dynamic seasons are back with huge visual contrast, bringing us a super vibrant cherry blossom spring and treacherous frozen alpine winters. As a fun, quirky touch, there are 200 regional food-themed mascots, like little onigiri and tempura characters scattered around for you to smash. Hilariously, their expressions actually change to sheer horror right before you hit them. Though, to maintain objective balance here, reviewers did note that the newly added food delivery side missions feel just a bit tone-deaf to the modern reality of gig work, basically taking what is often a grueling real-world job and presenting it as a breezy, fun way to make cash. All right, Section 3, Progression and New Modes, or as I like to call it, Earning Your Keep. We're finally seeing the return of the classic progression system that fans have literally been missing for years. You now have to complete basic events to earn 7-tiered colored wristbands, meaning you actually have to earn the right to drive your hypercars, instead of relying on those broken Hour 1 wheel spins that completely ruined the pacing in Horizon 4 and 5. Super wheel spins are way rarer now, making every unlock feel immensely rewarding. Plus, the 15 hidden barn finds are now tied exclusively to collecting Discover Japan stamps. You have to actually put in the work and explore the map to uncover these legendary relics. This all feeds into an incredibly stacked multiplayer suite. The wildly popular Eliminator Battle Royale mode returns, but get this, now everyone starts in a humble 1984 Honda City. It completely levels the playing field. But the real stars are the brand new modes. Spec Racing puts everyone in identical, unmodified cars to test pure, unadulterated driver skill. No worrying about crazy tuning setups. Meanwhile, Touge's Showdown offers tight, highly technical one-on-one mountain races that are directly inspired by the legendary street racing anime Initial D. Let's shift gears to Section 4, Building the Ultimate Garage. and what the new meta looks like. Listen up, because buying randomly from the auto show right out of the gate, that's a trap. You always want to check your car collection screen first. The meta has changed significantly here. A huge portion of these 550 launch cars simply cannot be bought with credits. If a specific legendary car is locked behind your road racing activity progression, buying a random auto show car does absolutely nothing to help you get it. Check the source first, and then focus your grind on that specific activity to build your dream garage efficiently. And speaking of racing, the brand new R-Class fundamentally changes online lobbies. Sitting right above the S2 class, this new R-Class is reserved exclusively for track-focused race cars and Le Mans prototype machinery. For years, lobby-breaking track prototypes like the legendary Mazda 787B or the Lamborghini Essenza completely dominated the S2 production hypercar bracket, making races super unfair and unbalanced. Moving these extreme track weapons into their own dedicated class finally makes high-tier online racing so much more balanced and competitive. If you really want to optimize your start, reviewers have put together a highly effective 10-hour timeline. For the first 3 hours, systematically cover your road and dirt racing disciplines to unlock crucial progression rewards. At the 5-hour mark, aggressively save your wheel spins. With the tighter economy, saving them until you've unlocked higher-tier reward brackets maximizes your payout. Then, spend your 7th hour exploring the map for barn finds and the 9 hidden treasure cars before you even think about dropping your hard-earned credits on building specialist drag or drift vehicles around the 10-hour mark. Okay, Section 5, Performance and Accessibility. Let's talk about how this beast actually runs. With these gorgeous dynamic environments, high-speed rendering, and ray tracing all going on at once, we really have to ask the big question. Can your current setup actually handle the highest-rated game of the year? We've got to look at how this highly demanding tech performs across different hardware platforms, from home consoles all the way to PC and handhelds. Well, console players, you are getting a perfectly smooth ride right out of the gate. The Xbox Series X offers a stunning quality mode running at native 4K at a locked 30 frames per second and is super responsive performance mode at dynamic 4K, hitting a flawless 60 frames per second. And for those of you taking the festival on the go, Steam Deck users will find the game fully verified on day one. It's capped at a highly stable 30 frames per second on low settings, which is, frankly, a technical marvel in its own right for a map of this staggering scale. Over on the PC side, performance is phenomenal overall. But for the hardcore sim racers out there, take note. First, even if you're rocking a top-of-the-line RTX 5090, reviewers strongly recommend just leaving ray tracing off, because the visual gains simply isn't worth the performance hit at those high speeds. On a much brighter note for wheel users, the game finally introduces realistic 540-degree steering hand animations in the cockpit, something hardcore fans have waited 14 long years for. However, there are some force feedback bugs present on PC at launch, and we're currently lacking official device support lists, so be prepared for a little bit of tinkering. But the crucial point here is that Playground Games clearly wants everyone to be able to play. The accessibility features are just industry-leading. A new high-contrast mode highlights terrain and cars for visually impaired players. Auto-Drive literally lets your virtual assistant physically navigate your car to waypoints, and Proximity Radar keeps clean racing accessible when you're in tight packs. Going above and beyond, they're even adding full American and British Sign Language cinematic interpreters in a post-launch update. Finally, that brings us to Section 6, the final verdict. Let's cross the finish line. The aggregated conclusion from all these reviews is that this is a near-perfect culmination of the franchise. It successfully blends Japan's incredibly rich car culture with a refined, deeply rewarding progression system. It perfectly understands spectacle without ever becoming hollow, delivering pure, unadulterated video game joy at 200 miles per hour. It proudly stands as a true accumulation of its past 5 iterations. Now, to remain totally objective, the data does point out a few minor speed bumps. While the unbearable dialogue cringe of the past is gone, the new grounded voice acting can occasionally feel a bit sterile and corporate. Also, the lack of truly deep visual vehicle customization kind of holds it back from ultimate perfection. And those PC wheel force feedback bugs we mentioned are certainly a slight annoyance for sim racers right out of the gate. So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Has Playground Games already secured the absolute crown for 2026? With that incredible 92 aggregate score, will Forza Horizon 6 hold on to the highest-rated title of the year? Or is there another contender, perhaps an open-world giant named GTA 6, waiting in the rear-view mirror to overtake it? Let me know what you think, and thanks so much for exploring this review data with me today.